Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Malo on football. Malo on football, Tuesday afternoon, man. Just a platform where I give my views on everything that's going on in the world of football, both locally as well as internationally. So yeah, man, let's get into conversation. Let's chat. If it's your first time, welcome. Hit the subscribe button and let us chat. Let us share ideas, man. Let me know your views on some of the things that I post. So here we go. So my discussion today is around the brand that is and was the PSL. And I say was because, we all grew up watching the PSL when Kaiser Chiefs used to dominate. Mamelodi Sundowns were quite aggressive and challenging, especially in the cup competitions. Orlando Pirates, your Bidvest Wits at the time, Supersport to a lesser extent, Bloemfontein Celtic, and the fierce competition within those clubs where you just don't know who's going to win the league season in and season out. Obviously, Dr. Motsepe has obviously come into the fray with regards to PSL, Mamelodi Sundowns, in terms of the investment that he's put into the club. And we've obviously seen that bear fruit over the last couple of years. But I fear that the PSL, as a organizing body, if it does not start allowing more access from a sponsorship point of view, and I'll mention the categories of sponsorships within the football arena. I was looking at, obviously some of the PSL clubs that don't currently have sponsorships. And I keep talking about this because it's really quite a sad phenomenon in our country that you've got millions of viewers who enjoy the PSL brand and the football clubs that they support. But without the financial support, these clubs are going to crumble and ultimately not be able to sustain themselves. We constantly hear clubs not able to pay salaries. And as the PSL, I think this is for them to come in and start opening up some of the fields when it comes to sponsorships, whether it's alcohol, whether it is betting companies, whether it's just literally any brand that wants to associate themselves with any PSL club. Because the danger of closing some of these sectors from a sponsorship point of view is that you're only going to get the top three, maybe four clubs who've got the big sponsors who ultimately end up dominating. I mean, we've seen it with Mamelodi Sundowns and their Motsepe sponsorship that, it's just hard for anyone to catch them. The players that they're able to buy, probably 2-3 squads of quality players, and your Kaiser Chiefs, even Pirates, Supersport United just struggle season in and season out to come anywhere close to Sundowns. Yes, Pirates, people will say last season Pirates won 2 trophies, but if you look at the bread and butter, which is the league, Mamelodi Sundowns are just way, way, way far ahead, and I don't see that ending anytime soon unless the PSL start looking within themselves and saying, what is good for the greater game? Is it for one team to dominate season in and season out? I don't think so, because from an audience point of view, people are just going to stop watching the brand because it's just the outcome is just predictable season in and season out. But if they can start opening up, and yes, the PSL will probably say they do allow, teams to go out there and find sponsorships, whoever they want. But you find that there's clubs who get sponsorships and then end up being blocked and not being able to get any sponsor from any sector to ultimately bring in the cash investment they need to buy the players to compete with Sundowns and the likes. Because the TV revenue they get is not enough. Some of the clubs don't even get live games consistently on Supersport, as well as a little bit on SABC, if even on SABC. Or is it a matter of opening up the channels to other broadcasters to bring in the much needed revenue for these clubs? But I think it's something the PSL need to look at quite closely. Otherwise, their brand is going to diminish, or their audience is going to diminish. And if you look at the amount of teams in the PSL, if the teams cannot sustain themselves, it's going to go down to a 14-team league, 12-team, and end up being a 10-league association. And that's probably not what they want. They want more games, they want more football, but you need the TV rights, but you need the sponsorship. And I think also putting this back at the clubs themselves need to know how to better market and position their brands as football clubs. I've made a video about this, talking about what the clubs need to do to get themselves more financially ready from a marketability point of view to get the brands and the sponsors that they want. I think, some of the clubs, I must give it up to Golden Arrows securing 10Bet. We know 10Bet has recently partnered with Bafana Bafana, so they've definitely got an appetite for football, now partnering with Golden Arrows. So big up to the chairman and everyone at Golden Arrows for having the vision, having the marketing insights that brands want to make themselves attractive. But we need more of that. I want to read every week that a PSL club has got a major sponsor, whether betting or not, and being able to now challenge when there's a bidding war between players and going out and attracting the best players. That's what we need. So yeah, man, congratulations obviously to Golden Arrows, to Bafana as well, from a football point of view, securing 10Bet as their partners. Looking forward to the new season in world football in general, to see what's going to be happening at the various teams, at the various clubs, whether it's Sundowns doing what they're doing, whether it's Arsenal continuing where they left off in second position last season. But yeah, from a South African point of view, I think the opening up the sponsorship avenues for these clubs is definitely one thing that is absolutely critical. And I think if brands, want to position themselves within the PSL, I think it is still a valuable proposition, but it's up to the clubs to structure themselves and make themselves attractive to that investment. And if they need insights, if they need know-how, there's plenty of companies, insights. There's, I used to work in this space and I still kind of do. So I also understand the sports sponsorship space and research and what brands are looking for in order to position themselves with sports properties. So yeah, man, that's my views on everything that's going on in the world of sponsorship and the PSL and the world of football. Malo on football, we out.